So a lot of what we're seeing with ServiceNow trends as far as AI goes, AI is an interesting term. I think there's a lot of hype and there's a lot of ambiguity around where things are going. A lot of us, right? We still don't know what we're going to be using it for. We know that from a technology perspective, it's super powerful. I think a lot of ServiceNow customers are still cautious of what they can and cannot use AI for. From a generative AI perspective, there seems to be a tendency to lean towards efficiency gains and not productivity gains from a ServiceNow perspective. And what that means is we're trying to reduce the amount of work it takes a human to get to an end result by summarizing and digging in through previous data, especially within ServiceNow instances. It's a really good use case to help an operator get to a resolution. But the reality is that the true gains are probably going to be when we're able to eliminate the need for a human altogether. And that's what the industry calls productivity versus efficiency. So an example there would be when an end user sends in a request to ServiceNow, instead of waiting for a help desk operator to reach back out, ServiceNow can propose a solution. And initially that might be by way of approval or requiring a manager to approve. Over time, we'll see that those resolutions start to just solve themselves. And that's where we really start to get the productivity gains from a ServiceNow perspective. We're seeing a lot of that stuff within the software development world already, right? Writing code, generating use cases, generating test cases. That stuff is already really impacting productivity in a very meaningful way. And I think some companies that are doing this well, you've read articles and blogs and podcasts, like you're like 10xing your output with the number of developers you have. I think that there's a world where that will exist for service desks and IT service management and the ServiceNow platform. One of the other areas that ServiceNow has been focused on is operational technology, which is also known as OT. Essentially, it's a bunch of different components that are used within manufacturing or the industrial space. So think thermostats on walls, think machines that are manufacturing plastic or manufacturing metal in big plants. They're historically very vulnerable to security risks, and they're not very safe devices to have. And that presents a really big opportunity from a security perspective. The other angle to that is monitoring the performance of those devices. And that's like a whole different world where you're monitoring for optimization, you're monitoring for efficiency of outputs, still within the manufacturing world. We're seeing a lot of organizations land with ITAM, IT asset management, to track hardware, to track software. We worked with Warner Brothers tracking video hardware across 200 countries. They've got these kits and they don't know what cameras are where and they don't know what cables are where. And so use cases that are not necessarily targeted towards help desk and IT service management are going to become more and more prevalent within new customers that are coming into the ServiceNow ecosystem. And I think that's going to give ServiceNow a really good opportunity to expand from a wallet share within an existing organization. So it's not only targeting a technical buyer. From our perspective, a lot of times we're coming in to help a customer really push the boundaries of what they're doing with ServiceNow, right? So a customer might have already deployed ITOM or ITSM, may have already been working on deploying Now Assist. Our role within the ecosystem is to help customers really push the boundaries on what those modules can do and what the platform can do. For example, if a customer may have been using Now Assist to help resolve incidents faster, from an efficiency perspective, right, reducing your mean time to resolve from an hour and a half to 10 minutes, our job is to completely eliminate that 10 minutes, right, by using productivity methods to help resolve incidents. So an example of that would be ServiceNow may come up with a list of 5 things to try to solve an incident. We would come up with a list of 5 commands to run on a target host, which would then be executed dynamically without the need for a human to log in and do that. So RapDev's role within the ServiceNow space is to really push that last 10%. That's where a lot of the gain unlock is, right? It's the last 10% of where there's hesitation, there's lack of awareness, there's just a lot of research that hasn't been done to help really extract that last bit of value from the platform. I mean, we continue, like our partnership with ServiceNow is stronger than ever. We continue to invest in our ServiceNow skills, our ServiceNow partners, our ServiceNow customers. I think the direction ServiceNow is headed from AI and enterprise kind of intersection is super exciting. It's going to create a lot of new opportunity for ServiceNow customers, for the enterprises, and frankly for us as partners. It's a lot of cool use cases that I think we're going to start to see bubble up over the next few years, and I'm really bullish on what that could mean for our customers.